This video was made possible thanks to the EA Creator Network. Hello and welcome to The Sims 4 Enchanted by Nature, and we are doing a world overview today. So first of all, I want to thank the EA Creator Network for allowing me to check out this pack early. I really appreciate it, so thank you. And first, we're going to start here, where you can see the worlds, and we are going to look at the new world of Innisgreen. So that's what they have called the new world coming with the pack. Let's read the introduction and see what it will tell us. The enchanting Isle of Innisgreen is renowned for its natural beauty and vibrant communities. Sims from afar are drawn to the idyllic Spruceberry Grove, where foraging is abundant and life flourishes in harmony with nature. In the mystical forest of Everdew, the pursuit of fairy life and relationships offers enchanted experiences. Adventure awaits at the coast of Admore, where the isle's rich history and secrets unfold through its engaging residents and monuments. Innisgreen is celebrated for its development of the apothecary skill, attracting Sims eager to pursue careers in naturopathy and holistic practices. All right, so that gives us a good idea of what we're going to be seeing in this world. So let's jump right in. So here you see the new world map. So just some basic information. Obviously, there are 3 neighborhoods, as you can see, and also that was part of the description that we just read. Second, I can tell you that there are 14 lots. There are 14 lots. In my opinion, they're actually bigger than normal because we do actually have a 6464 in this pack. And not only that, but the smallest lot is actually a 2020. And there's only one of them. So I would say compared to normal pack releases or what I would consider normal, it's a little bit larger lots this time. Instead of going through and telling you every single lot size, I will leave them on the map for you so that you can note them down for yourself if you want to or if you need to. Other than that, you can see that these 3 neighborhoods are very distinct, and I think what makes sense is that we'll just go through them one by one. We'll jump in, read about the different neighborhoods, and then we can go and check out the builds and how the neighborhoods look. Now, speaking of the builds, we should also mention that there are builders. We do have our pack builders for this pack. They are TheSimsScrolls, CrackedKyber, Schmidt, and SandraPyka. So when we're going through these, the rest of the video, I'm not going to remember who's built which lot specifically, which I actually prefer because that way I don't have any weird biases when I'm going through the lots, but I'm kind of just looking at them as they are. But I will leave their names on their lots so that you can see who has built which lot so that you have that information. So give them lots of love because I know how hard it is to build for a pack. You guys have done amazing. So let's talk about neighborhoods. Let's start with the one down here, the coast of Admore. A bustling seaside village filled with lore and history, the coast of Admore serves as a tourist hotspot due to its colorful architecture, iconic landmarks, and coastal views. So based on the art direction of this pack, the devs have talked about how, specifically for the coast of Admore, a lot of the inspiration here actually came from Ireland, and more specifically maybe not cultural, but Celtic culture. So that's kind of where the inspiration for this neighborhood came from. So we'll see how that looks in the game. Let's jump to this museum first and see how that looks like. It's very colorful. I'm realizing that I have weird lighting. That's really, really cute. I love this. I love the little tower. It reminds me actually of a story, like an old. It's old now, but yeah, it's a kid's story that we have here. Kardemommeby. It reminds me of Tobias's Tower. If you're not Norwegian, you're not gonna know. Okay, I'm sorry, but it's a very Norwegian story. This is super cute. I love this, and this is a museum, so it should have some interesting items inside. Oh, look at that! There's gnomes everywhere. So it's a gnome museum. That's adorable. You know, I'm not really fond of museums, but you know, I would want to go to this one. This feels like one of those. How do I explain it? Sometimes you have these kind of whimsical, a bit random museums. This feels like one of those where it's almost like someone's private collection of just random stuff. But here it is somewhat tied to gnomes. This is really cool, actually. They can go up in their little tower. I imagine the view is great up there. All right. Love the museum. Love the colors. And then here we have a guy, gnome, which is an interesting name. Gnome. The coast of Admore's very own wacky, waving, non-inflatable, arm-flailing gnome man, Glen Gnome, resides in this humble abode, surrounded by his personal collection of gnomes. Satisfied with his secluded lifestyle, Glen enjoys spreading the good gnome word at num-nums, woodworking or crafting his latest professional piece of writing, which may or may not be gone... No, hang on. I said that wrong. Which may or may not be gnome fanfiction. An elder in his prime, Glen is the kind of neighbor to lend a helping hand or enchant a gnome to do it for him. Now, he sounds like a character I want to meet, to be honest. He sounds like a lot of fun. I wonder how his house is going to reflect in this. I'm sorry that I haven't actually, you know, checked the time of day in game, so it's a bit of odd lighting, but we'll survive. Green and yellow, classic combo here. Glen has style. I wonder what this little thing is. We'll have to check out. Oh, this is probably where he does his crafts, I would assume. Let's see. So here's his house. Very yellow and green. I kind of like it when the inner color palette matches the outer color palette. I've done that sometimes when I build too, and I don't know, I really like it. Also, there's a blue toilet, which is also really fun. So yeah, here's Glen's house. Colorful. He has a bedroom up here. He has some gnomes. He has his own office. Now let's see. I'm pretty sure this would have been his little workshop. Yeah, that's exactly it. His little workshop here. Then he can do his woodworking in peace. That's awesome. Amazing place for Glen. And now we'll see here. So this is one of the starters. Just scraping in at that 20k budget. Let's check out. So this is one of the options. If you want to move to Innisgreen, this is one of the options you have in terms of picking a place to stay. Now, first of all, as someone that has built for a pack and has had to do starters, I think it's a very bold choice that you've actually gone for a second floor. Very bold choice. As in, and this is just from experience, in that I know that one of the biggest draws of a budget is walls. So the more walls you add, i.e. rooms, the more it drags your budget. So it's really painful. It costs you a lot, I guess, is a better way of saying it, to add a second story like that. One of the starters I did for Horse Ranch, Canter Cottage, I originally had a second story for that, but I opted out of it just because I saw that I'm gonna essentially have an empty inside. So I think this is a really brave choice of the builder here to go all in with the second floor just to get this kind of whimsical style, which makes sense for the world. So let's see. It's very clean. It's a bit Nordic, if you ask me. A lot of the base game items are very IKEA Nordic, so it's giving that kind of vibe. There's a little plant, pot plant here, ready for a plant if you have one. They do have toilet paper, so kudos for that. A very small kitchen, but it can be extended, you know, as you get more money. Yeah, this is a large bedroom. Lots of potential. Lots of potential for the starter. And I like that. It's a very consistent, very soft, easy interior. So I think really well done as a starter. I pat you on the back for this. So let's check out what the rest of the town has to offer. So we've gone through these 3 here. So there's a 4th house here, which has the Ladipo family. Who are they? Let's see. Despite moving to a more picturesque place, the sorry, I'm going to get this wrong. The Ladipo household still clutches onto their tech-based lifestyle. When the closest to gardening Flora and Io okay, I can't read. When the closest to gardening Flora and Io get is watering their live houseplants, it's clear nature is just a beautiful backdrop to them. But live houseplants are not the only thing in need of extra care. A rift has formed within their family after their daughter Iris moved out to pursue a more enchanted life. Burdened by this disconnection, the Ladipos must try to find common ground with their daughter or risk expanding their divide. Right, so I just realized that this is the family from the trailer. I just realized that now. I know, I'm slow. I'm sorry. I'm slow. Okay, so this is their house. So let's check that out. I am changing the light. Bear with me. This almost looks like a what do you call it? Like a duplex. It looks like it's a duplex because there's 2 very distinct, almost separate parts to the house here. But really, really pretty. A bit posh, I would say. A bit posh, you know, like they have these fancy finishings. Definitely a nicer house. But I can see that the inside here, it's a lot more... well, it shows that it's one house. It's not 2 separate houses. This is actually interesting. With this swatch, it really looks like a lot of the kitchens I see here in that wood tone. I've seen this kitchen a lot. It feels weirdly realistic to me to have this. But this family is pretty well off, I would say. They have pretty large spaces here. That must be, maybe this is the daughter's bedroom. Since she was kind of into that whole nature living thing. And this would be the parents. That would make sense. They're into their tech lifestyle. They have their more modern, you know, style preferences. That's really interesting. I really love how you can see that difference in the build itself. So well done to the builder for that. Really cool house. Really cool place. So that's pretty much it. That's it for the coast of Admore. So next we'll check out Spruce Dairy Grove, which is the neighborhood up here. I can also mention that this rock formation going along the side here is actually based off the Giant's Causeway, which is an actual place. So fun little tidbit there. Now, Spruceberry Grove is a haven for bohemian and nature-loving Sims who love gardening, living off the land, and mastering the apothecary skill. Nature enthusiasts flock here to forage among the picturesque trees and bathe in the tranquil stream. The neighborhood takes its name from the local legend Spruce Almighty, the community's loving garden pal. He sounds fun. Spruce Almighty. Okay, so from my understanding, there is no specific place that has inspired this world, or this neighborhood, I should say, but it is in general sort of inspired by wanting to be this nature embraced type of area. So not based on any specific places in the world, just kind of focusing on the nature loving part of it. So we have this big 64 here, which is essentially an empty lot. They have built a little pond on it, but that's about it. Doesn't have any, it's not even set up as a park, but you can see some of the areas here. It's a really pretty area. These cute little cottages. I love the waterfalls here. That makes it really pretty. It's a really nice feature. But it's a really cute little town. All right, so that's 64. Let's see what else we can find here. So we have a family here called Enchanted Lovers that's living on this lot. Two lovers, different from one another, built a path to be together, and now they share a loving home. Todd and Elric first bonded over their appreciation for nature and its many enchantments. They often spend their days lounging in the sun or foraging by the water. But not everything is picture perfect. While Todd thrives in his apothecary business, Elric searches for a bigger purpose beyond a life of mixology. Unsure of his true nature, Elric contemplates if clipping his wings would yield more or less freedom. Only time can tell. There's some drama stirring here with this family here. Let's see what our house can tell us about them, shall we? Okay, first of all, we gotta talk about the very nice, well, I was gonna say landscaping, but I guess it's more earthscaping. Very bold choice to use the terrain tools here, because I avoid them like the plague because they're so difficult to make look right, but this is amazing. This looks really, really amazing. I love the house. I love how it's built in here. There's clearly a very, very clever builder that has planned this out. And obviously had a good budget to go with it. There's so many plans. Gosh. It's a gorgeous house though. So good. All right, let's see how the inside looks. Oh, so we have this little part down here. Kind of looks like a separate office. They haven't paid their bills, I think. I think maybe they haven't paid their bills. You think this has to do with some of the drama they were talking about? I don't know. All right, so that was them. Beautiful exterior, just gotta say. All right, and then we have Gringles, which is the local bar. Gringles has been the local hotspot for Sims to enjoy mixed drinks after a long day of mixing elixirs. Located near the center of Spruceberry Grove, Sims come to take in the greenery and partake in delectable conversation. right? So this is the local pub. You need a local pub for sure. Are you sick of me clicking the sun thing yet? I hope you're not. I hope you're surviving. This is also really great exterior. Looks very earthy with the green and the brown tones and the stone. And here we can also see the use of these walls, these glass walls we were talking about earlier. Gives you an idea of the potential those will have. A pretty little gazebo out here. It's a very nice exterior. And again, I love it when you see the inside kind of mirroring the outside in terms of colors. You can see that same kind of brown and green theme inside. I love this little cutout almost where you can see the grass underneath, which is really cool. It's really pretty. Okay, so they're using this as a kind of conservatory or sunroom. Really, really cool bar. If I'm playing here, I definitely want to make sure my Sims come here to visit, that's for sure. So let's see what else we have in this neighborhood. So we do have a park here. So we have the Whistling Thistle Gardens. It's almost like all these names are just meant to, you know, set me up so that I can't pronounce them properly. Let's see. Catching up with Sims at the Whistling Thistle Gardens is a favorite pastime of the Spruce Dairy Grove residents. This community garden has been carefully curated over the years to grow all of the residents' favorite harvests. Besides socializing and gardening, painting and photography are especially enjoyable here as the light and natural ambience ignite creativity. Okay, so this is interesting. So it's meant to be a park, but kind of like a community gardening area, I guess you could call it. Let's see how this looks. Oh, wow. I love this. This is that same kind of green and brown and earthy type of style that the bar had. Really great landscaping from all of the builders that I've seen so far. Amazing stuff. I'm glad I was not on this pack because landscaping terrifies me. But I'm glad that they obviously found people that are really skilled at doing exteriors and gardening, because this is amazing stuff. So cool. I love all the different terraces here. That's also a very interesting way of doing. It's not even a staircase. It's kind of like a slope. Very neat. Again, there's a lot of very technically good builders for this pack, I feel like. They know their stuff. They know their roofing. They know how to manipulate the game. Obviously, a lot of experience. So this is kind of like a community area. So I'm not expecting there to be a lot, but at least there's a meeting place. You can use the restroom if you need to. And you can just hang out. Perfect. Amazing stuff. I love this. And then you have all the gardening areas out here. Plenty of stuff for your Sims to do. Okay, so we're going to check out the last place in the neighborhood, which is this house over here. So this is yet another starter. So this is the Greenwood Hamlet residence. Does it say much? This charming village home is conveniently located within a hop and skip away from a local park as well as the garden shop Clover Seeds and Supplies. It's an ideal starter home for Sims that want to practice their apothecary skills with access to the local stalls and shops. Okay, so this is an apothecary starter, where this is more of a, you know, hanging out in town starter. That makes sense. So let's see how or where the focus has been for this starter home. So again, with a very bold choice here, going with that second floor, I think, you know, seeing outside, there's still good landscaping. It doesn't feel super bare, you know, compared to the other lots that we've seen so far. It's quite lush. It blends into the world really well. It offers the kind of same whimsical style. It is going to be a bit more sparse on the inside, but I also think that the builder here has solved it really well with also having this more busy wallpaper, because then your attention is kind of drawn to that and it fills up a bit more. Instead of it looking very empty, it actually looks quite nice. The few items that are there just is exactly what is needed. They do have to go get some toilet paper though. I think they're out. I think they're out. Really nice starter home. I think really well done. Really cute. So that's the end of Spruce Dairy Grove, which means that we're on to the last of the areas, which is this, Everdew. Home of the Fairy Council, Everdew is the epicenter of fairy life, where fairies can let it all hang out. Innisgreen's most enchanted neighborhood shimmers with a patina of magic over all its natural beauty. Never seen that word before, so sorry if I mispronounced it. Now, Everdew is similar to Spruce Dairy Grove, not inspired by any one place in the world, but it's more generally inspired by fairies and that kind of culture. So what is really interesting about it is that this last starter is actually in a tree lot. So the whole lot is actually placed in a tree, which I think is a pretty interesting lot. And I'm kind of happy that they decided to essentially put in a tree house. It's a tree house. So I want to check out that first, actually. The last, I presume, of the starter homes. Along the outskirts of Everdew lies this quaint home built into one of the largest trees in the forest. The breathtaking scenery is made more beautiful by the neighborhood's denizens, who can be seen out and about, using their enchantments on the world and Sims alike. So let's see how this looks. All right. Weird lighting be gone. So the lot itself is gorgeous. I love this little bridge coming over here. You can see the tree, the roots all down there. So I do think this is a really cool lot. This house looks really cool. Again, very ambitious. Like here, you don't just have two floors, you actually have 3. There's a lot of stuff going on with the exterior, which must have cost a lot of the budget. And there's still quite a generous amount of landscaping done on the outside to make it fit into the world, which seems to be that all of the builders have had the same focus, that they would rather do a really beautiful and focus on the landscaping. So do a beautiful exterior and a lush landscaping and make sure that it really fits into this world, and rather than make that sacrifice when it comes to the interior for that, which I think is actually a really good choice for this style of pack, because it's sort of about that kind of whimsical, lush type of style homes. But 3 floors, my lord, that is ambitious. So again, this is another builder that has kind of filled up the space a lot with having a very busy wallpaper. So you're not really noticing or thinking about that it might be a little bit empty, which is a good choice, a smart choice. You have a simple toilet here. So it's what, 3 bedrooms? There's a kid's bedroom up here. Think about having to go up all those stairs just to get your baby every time it cries. as a parent, it's just, yes, practical matters. But a beautiful starter. I love the exterior. It's really cool. So that's your last option for a place to stay when you want to start with this pack. So let's check out the rest of the fairy area. So we have, here is a, well, it looks like it's a residential, it says, but it doesn't look like a residential, does it? The watering hole. The watering hole resides in Everdew amidst a backdrop of green and blue enchanted hues. Those living off the land will have just enough to live off of this empty lot. Okay, okay, I see. So that's what they're thinking. So it's only 6,000. So this is essentially another starter, but like super, super cheap. You're living off the land. You have barely the necessary essentials. So it's almost like you're starting a rags to riches, I guess. You have a little mailbox. You have a little water. You can fish. That's it. Good luck to you. That's it. That's really fun. I think that's a really fun concept to essentially start with a rags to riches and have to build your way up yourself. So the other areas, we have a lounge here, Starsong Lounge. The ethereal vibes of the Starsong Lounge attracts unique Sims from near and far. Locals are free to embody their true form and catch up with friends or make new ones. Come for the otherworldly ambience and stay for the drinks and the music. Let's see. Okay, this really looks like it's built into the land. It kind of reminds me of like a Hobbit type of dwelling with all the shapes here on the roofs. I like that you can see the difference here in the landscaping. A lot more of these purple and colorful types of what's it called, plants. Also notice these mushrooms that we saw earlier. That's really cool. Okay, so let's see how the inside looks. Now that's neat. That's neat. Look at that. We have that beautiful bar drop here, or backdrop for the bar. And we have the bar stools here. This is really cool. Lighting, 10 out of 10. Got a little stage here. Music. You can sit. More of an intimate concert if you'd like. We have toilets. And we have the tree stump toilets in here. That's really fun. That's a great lounge. I think I really want to go and visit here with my Sims if I do some gameplay with this. I'm getting inspired. I feel like as a builder that never really, you know, plays, I'm feeling like I want to check out these places. Now, so this is another home, quite a large one by the looks of it. This is a 50-50 lot. That's ambitious. Thinking about the builder that I had to build for this. So, Summer Dream. Having put down roots many moons ago, the Summer Dreams are Everdew's opulent high fae family. So then it makes sense with the house. Notable couple Titania and Oberon struggle to navigate the challenges of parenthood alongside their emotionally tumultuous marriage. But luckily for them, fairies thrive on emotional happenstance, so at least they're well satiated. Sorry, I can't pronounce things. By the drama. As for Mara, she anxiously awaits the day her wings will sprout and spends her afternoons fishing with her father or racing butterflies. All right, so let's see how Fae royalty lives, shall we? This is interesting. I mean, the builds have been top-notch so far, so I'm assuming this will be just like it. Let's get some better lighting here. Look at the roofing on this. Very cool. Love the little water feature here. As you may have noticed on some of these, you can see these lying out. I can't really do much about that. I do have to check out these lots in build mode, both because it's easier and also because first person mode triggers my vertigo and I get sick. So there's two aspects to that, but my gosh, it looks amazing. Again, this is so well thought out. All these different roof styles, roof types, all meshing well together. It looks so seamless. Looks so seamless. You can see these glass walls again. You can see even on a curved wall, they look great. This must be the daughter's bedroom. Look how cute that is. Oh my gosh. I think this is one of the houses, maybe the first one, where I really feel like they're bringing that kind of nature element properly in here. At least in one of the residential homes. Really pretty. It's almost like the inside is the outside, if you know what I mean. The inside and the outside are the same. Really pretty house. Amazing work. That's really cool. Okay, so we got one other place to check out. Let's see, we have the mystical besties that live here. A single's den made for two. Iris and Nadia have turned this house into a home. After a run-in outside of a fairy house soiree, these two became fast friends, with Nadia demanding Iris take up her spare room, bonding over a mutual love for nature, enchantment, and a bit of disruption. These besties are embracing being young and finding their own mystical path wherever it may lead. Now, if I'm not mistaken, if my memory serves me correct, a red hair here would be the daughter of the family here, the Ladipo family that has moved out. But I might be wrong. But that's how I remember it. Let's check out how their house looks like. Let's see. That's a really great lot. Oh, this looks lovely. I love this. I say that about all the houses, but I mean, I have really loved all the houses. The exterior, especially. And that's not saying the interior is bad. I'm just saying the exterior and the landscaping is especially impressive. It's really pretty. But hey, I always appreciate people that can landscape since I'm terrible at it. So I love that they've actually used the purple swatches here. That's something I would normally be super scared of doing because I'm allergic to color. But I love that this person, the builder here, has definitely not any issues like that, and they've gone all in with the purple, which I think is really cool. I applaud you for that choice because I think it's a really good choice. I also love that the color scheme goes through the entire house. That's really neat. All right, so that's Everdue. So that means that we have looked at all the different lots. You've had a little look at what the different neighborhoods look like in terms of their art direction. We've talked about the lots and the sizes and the builders, which all have been amazing for this pack. And that's pretty much it. Thank you so much for hanging out with me and checking this out with me. I appreciate it. And I'll see you guys later.